I'm the founder of Talley Communication Strategies. Most importantly, the current president or chair of the Board of Advocates for the Baylor Journalism Department. Went to school at Baylor, degree in journalism, 1988, and focused really on taking that journalism degree and turning it into a career in storytelling, advocacy, and a career throughout the years in corporate communications, public relations, and employee communication. Always loved news, always loved to read the newspaper. I grew up in Denver. We would have a morning paper and an afternoon paper, and I would study those papers, read those papers. And as a little boy, whether it was sports or other parts of the newspaper, I would read them, even the Sunday comics, of course. Ultimately became the editor of the high school newspaper. Came to Baylor. The only school I applied to was Baylor. And once I got onto this campus, I got connected with the folks here at Castelaw, the journalism department. I felt at home. I knew I wanted to pursue journalism, and I really wanted to be a professional golfer. And once I realized that that was not going to happen, the journalism path became a priority. Met my mentors, professors, other advocates right here, and this is home. For sure. Downstairs, we're in the Castelaw Communications building here at Baylor University. And in Castelaw 101 is our lecture hall. The gentleman was a guest lecturer. My mentor I met here at Baylor in the fall of 1985. He was speaking at an Introduction to Mass Communications class. We all referred to that as Travels with Gould, and that was a former chair of the department. The guest lecturer came in and was speaking about the profession of corporate communications. And he was from Denver. I'm from Denver. Upon the completion of his guest lecture, I went straight up to him and said, I want to do what you do. And to this day, almost 40 years later, he is my mentor and has always been a guiding force right here on this campus, right here. Whenever I've asked Mr. Ferguson, what can I do to thank you? He's never say no to anybody else and always give back. And I spent all day yesterday. I gave 4 guest lectures yesterday here on campus, spent some time with the students at Notre Dame today via Zoom. A couple of the folks you've interviewed here today have been part of the group that I brought into Baylor, and I've been lucky to be supporting, and it's all one big family. I believe in people. I believe in our profession. I believe that humans need one another. Since the formation of mankind. Empathetic human connectivity has been important. And so we have all these other technologies and things that are coming forward, but none of that changes the fundamental need to tell the truth, connect with one another. And I love being a part of knowledge sharing, knowledge gathering, and knowledge dissemination. I care deeply about Baylor, care deeply about this department, the Castelaw building, the smell, the feel, what it's like here just brings back terrific memories, and have always felt like this is home. They always say you can't go back home, but yes, you can go back home. We have home that we're raised in and brought up in, and that is like our nuclear home, which is awesome. But when we reach this point in our lives, this becomes a home that is uniquely ours. And I was proud to share that with my parents and for them to come be a part of it here. But it was my home that I was creating and building. And it just had a different meaning and a different feeling. And I was out on my own for the very first time. And I felt supported. I felt inspiration. I arrived on this campus with not a dime in my name. Got the Pell Grant, went to the student loan office, started doing whatever on-campus jobs I could do. I did 4 internships while I was here. And all of that is a result of the support and care and compassion that came from this department and the people who are here. And I'd be crazy not to be right back where it all started. It's home. It's a special place, not only because of our foundation on faith, but it's a place where you can feel like you can be yourself. You can have some fun. You can color outside the lines, but there's no reason to go crazy or try to be something you're not. I met my wife here. She was 2nd generation. Our girls both went here, so they're 3rd generation Baylor students, all of them educators. And this coming weekend, we'll celebrate homecoming, and we have 5 grandchildren, and they'll be on the campus. So one of the organizations here in the department that we're a
Hmm.
part of is the Public Relations Student Society of America,
Okay.
PRSSA. And I was applying to be an officer and in part of an election to be an officer in PRSSA to be the treasurer. I believe it was my sophomore year, definitely my sophomore year. That same evening, I was scheduled to have my first date with my now wife of 36 years, Laura. The meeting ran long, the election ran long. I had no car, I had no money. They were waiting on me for a double date to go to Paparolo's to have on Valley Mills to have our
Hmm.
first date. And from that very moment, we connected and she was supportive. She knew it was important to me, this profession, and I knew that education was important to her. And so we both found a home in the Department of Journalism for me and School of Education for her. I mean, that was it, that was everything. It's an
Yeah.
interesting blend of personal life, professional life for her as a teacher, me as a person who was pursuing
Hmm.
communications, and meeting right here on the Baylor campus. And literally, our first date literally was the night of that election, and I was at least an hour and a half late. This place is one where within Baylor, the Department of Journalism, we have a couple, 200 or 300 students,
Hmm.
but we make a big difference. We have the Valerian. We have the opportunity to be the voice of Baylor and to communicate and to support. And so students who come here, they don't get lost in a big, massive university. It's an important, significant university,
Yeah.
but you can come and be a part of something very, very special and make this is not necessarily in an egotistical way, make a name for yourself, but make your way and
Okay.
find your way.
To your
And I
path.
found that way through my time here at Baylor. I've always looked forward to being back and be a part of the university and to support the students. It's always felt like home, and I kind of keep going back to that feeling of home. And in many ways, it was my and has always been my first home as an adult. Everybody needs communications. There is not a single entity or person in the world that doesn't need communications. So we're all focused on social and AI and this, that, and the other.
Hmm.
The bottom line coming out of the code, uh, we all need communication. Everybody needs communication. So regardless of what's happening from a technology perspective, AI, this, that, and the other, changes in the administration, politics, global, this, that, and the other, there's always going to be a need for communication. There'll always be a need for truth telling, and there'll always be a need and a way for people to connect with other humans through journalism and communications.